It is Sunday. It is weather for Weather Geeks time, and I'm in doing WFMJ weekend today this morning because we've got a big weather story out ahead of us unfolding in the next 48 hours. Of course, the coldest weather in 20 years heading our way for the start of the week. This is the map for this morning as I record this a little before 8:30. It's not bad outside this morning. Sure, it's a little chilly, especially over in Pennsylvania, but generally temperatures this morning are in the upper 20s to around 30 or so. And you look at the radar this morning, and you might think, boy, look at all that snow heading our way, but that's not quite how it's going to unfold. Some of this rain that's down here across the lower Ohio River Valley is actually going to be the first thing we see as we head towards this evening. I've got the temperatures plotted up here. Let me take off the radar. Look at the temperatures behind the front. Well, of course, it is really cold in the upper Midwest today. They're starting the day in the teens and 20s below zero in Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin. Of course, we've got an NFL playoff game coming up later on today in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where temperatures will probably be below zero. The wind chill well below that. Well, speaking of wind chills, let me plot those up. Here, the wind chills are a little bit outrageous this morning. North of the U.S.-Canadian border, a lot of minus 50s showing up. Wind chills as cold as minus 30 down into parts of the Dakotas and Minnesota. This is where our air is coming from over the next couple of days. So we've got big-time changes heading our way. Let's talk about those changes. I'm going to plot up a computer model here that's going to show us what the radar should look like as we go through the rest of the day. I'm going to start this off with early this afternoon at 1 p.m. We're still dry northeast Ohio into western PA, rain and snow out here to the west. As we head towards this evening, let's fast forward to 6 p.m. Still not a lot going on. Maybe there's a rain shower around, but most of the activity is out here. And again, this will be snow in much of northern Indiana, Michigan, certainly, into northwest Ohio. It's more of a rain-snow mix or even just rain down in southwest Ohio towards the end of the day today. So that's 6 o'clock this evening. Into the overnight tonight, here's 10 p.m., and this is when rain will be occurring in many places across the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. This will be mostly rain, say, from, about Interstate 80 on south, even north of I-80, probably at least a mix of rain and snow for a time this evening. It's mostly then all snow once you're back in here. So this will be a pretty big snow event for Toledo and Fort Wayne, Lima, Detroit. But around here, most of the moisture that gets squeezed out by this front is going to come in the form of rain this evening, and there won't be much moisture left to squeeze out snow showers as the cold air wraps in. So once it's cold enough to snow, there's not going to be much moisture around. So I do think later on tonight, this is about 5 in the morning, there'll be some flurries and some snow showers winding up downwind of the lakes. They're not really showing up real well on the model here, but we'll see some snowflakes tomorrow morning. The bigger concern, I think, is, with the rain coming this evening and then a really rapid drop in temperatures later tonight, we could have a quick freeze up. So wet and slushy areas on sidewalks, parking lots especially, could freeze up in a big-time hurry for Monday morning. And so we'll have to watch for real skating rink conditions tomorrow morning, not because we got a lot of snow, but because we had rain and then rapidly falling temperatures. So that's how things are going to kind of go as we head through the next 24 hours. Let me bring up the temperatures tomorrow morning here because big-time changes will be occurring at this point. This is when our front will really be ushering in the cold air. I'm actually going to back this up a couple of hours. Here's the middle of the night tonight, about 3 o'clock in the morning. Here's where our front is, right here. East of it, where you get into some of these bluish colors, temperatures are still up in the 20s and 30s. But behind it, once you're back into the purple colors here, it's below zero. So that air is coming our way, and I do think by the end of the day Monday, by the end of the daylight hours Monday, so by 5 o'clock, we're going to be below zero in eastern Ohio and into western Pennsylvania. I'm going to take a detour real quickly. I wanted to show you a cool satellite picture from yesterday. High-resolution shot of northern Ohio, including Lake Erie, and with all the cold weather recently, the western end of Lake Erie is icing up. This is all ice in through here, really forming on the western end, the deeper end of the lake. I'm sorry, the more shallow end of the lake, I should say. The deeper end is the eastern end, and that's why it's always kind of last to freeze up. But even along the shoreline up around Cleveland, heading over towards Erie, we're starting to get some patches of ice. So cool high-resolution shot from yesterday. All right, let's talk about the snow, or the lack thereof, in our neck of the woods. Northeast Ohio, western Pennsylvania, this is the European computer model snow forecast through Monday afternoon. It has less than an inch here. I could see where there's going to be an inch or two occurring particularly in the lake-enhanced snow bands that get going during the day Monday. But this is not going to be a big snow event for us here, where you get into some of these pinks and purples out here. This is where the heart of the snow is going to be with the arrival of the cold air. So again, Toledo, Detroit, Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, that's the bullseye. Wind chills, going to be ridiculous. These are the wind chill values for Monday morning at daybreak. This is when the worst of the cold will still be just to our west. And so wind chills Monday morning, I apologize if this is hard to read, but believe it or not, there are some wind chills. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so maybe you can see this a little better. There's going to be some wind chills in the upper Midwest on Monday morning. That could be as cold as minus 55 or even minus 60. That's the kind of wind chill where frostbite can occur in 5 minutes or less. So thankfully it's not going to get quite that bad here, but again, this is Monday morning in the Midwest. Our wind chills will be at their lowest Tuesday morning, and that's the map I'm showing here. We don't see a minus 60 here, but I can see where the wind chill gets down to minus 40 at the start of the day on Tuesday. And we've been harping on this for a few days now. When the wind chill is minus 40, frostbite can occur in 10 minutes. Your skin can freeze very quickly. This is not the kind of weather that you want to let the pets outdoors in. If you can absolutely avoid it, if your dog has to use the restroom, let them out for a minute or two and then get them back in the house. If your pipes are prone to freezing and cold weather outbreaks, you're going to want to insulate them before we get to Tuesday morning if you can. And if you've got an older car, especially or an older car battery, you know, Tuesday morning could be pretty tough for you. There could be a lot of dead car batteries Tuesday morning. So this is the kind of air and the kind of wind chill values that we haven't seen in about 20 years here. So it's going to be quite remarkable. I mentioned, you know, the snow is not really at the top of our list of concerns here. Again, locally an inch or two. Late tonight into Monday with some lake-enhanced snow bands. The best chance of seeing a couple of inches will be up in Trumbull County and Mercer County. It could be some lingering flurries into Tuesday. I do think by Tuesday afternoon, as a little nose of high pressure tries to build in, the wind is going to start to diminish by the end of the day Tuesday. So the worst part of the day for wind and cold Tuesday will be first thing in the morning, less wind later. Wednesday looks pretty uneventful. That's the map I'm showing here. So go into Thursday. We are expecting a little bit of snow to return. This does not look like a big event, but this could be kind of one of those nuisance events where we get 1, 2, maybe 3 inches worth of snow Thursday into Thursday night. And I'll finish things up showing you the Europeans' idea for snowfall with this next system Thursday. Again, this is after the worst of the colds here. This is down the road a piece, Thursday into Thursday night. It has a general 1 to 3 across the area. So that's the way things look for the end of the week. Once we get through Thursday and this little nuisance snow, it's going to warm up. We might be near 40 next weekend, but we've got to get through some intense cold before then, and I'll have your forecast again this morning on WFMJ today, weekend today at 9 a.m. Mike Joyce in the Weather Center this evening at 6 and 11. He'll have fresh numbers for you in terms of both snow and the cold. So be sure and watch 21 News. We'll get you through this rather remarkable and historic cold outbreak.